Okay, good morning, everybody. Today's session, we are doing an introduction to Realtour and our marketing suite. So, like I said, today's session is about an hour. We're going to cover our 4 best-selling marketing products. So right here, everyone can see my screen, hopefully, yes? Good. We're going to cover photo shoots, virtual tours, e-flyers, and print materials. Now, I'm not sure if anybody on the call today is even familiar with Realtour. So really quick before we get started, I'll just do a quick run through of what we're looking at and what your dashboard page is. So right now I'm logged into my account and I'm on my dashboard page. So everybody will have the same dashboard page. It doesn't matter if you're a sales rep or an agent or a photographer. When you have a Realtour account and you log in, everyone gets the same dashboard page. We have all our products right here. We have some extra goodies. We have our top 10 listings. Here at the top, we have drop-down menus that just repeat the marketing products. This is so that if you were in the middle of making a virtual tour and you needed to escape and you wanted to jump into something else, you can always access it by these drop-down menus. So these are all of our products again. You can always access your account. Now this I'm going to quickly click on because this will come into play later as I'm showing you how to make the marketing material. When you first create your Realtour account, literally take 5 minutes and go in and fill in your account information. I'm going to click on my account info and bio. Okay, you just come to a simple page like this where you're going to fill in your name, if you have a title, fill in your address, whether it's your office address or your home address, doesn't matter. Most people use their office address. Fill in your phone numbers. If you have a secondary email that you want, emails to go to, anything like that. If you have a website, fill in all of this information. Same with your headshots. I'm going to click on headshots. Okay, I have a whole bunch of headshots uploaded because this is a training account, but you will probably just have 1 or 2. Maybe if you work with a partner on listings, you might want to upload their headshot as well. Take the time to upload your headshots and also your logo. And again, I've just uploaded a whole bunch of logos here for testing purposes, but you might have, 2 or 3 logos, black, white, full color logo, stuff like that. The reason I'm telling people to take the time to fill in their account is because, and you'll see this as we go through the process, a lot of this information will auto-populate into the product that you're making. So if we're doing an e-flyer, we've got a template, your headshot, your logo, all your contact information will auto-populate into that template without you having to do anything as long as you fill in this part when you first make your account. So it's just a time saver for you. So it's worth doing. Okay, just going to go back to my dashboard page. Okay, so we have our marketing products drop down, my account, shopping cart. If you ever need to go to your shopping cart or look at your shopping cart history right here. If you ever want to just look at prices without going into a product, you just want to have an overview of the prices, those are right here. If you ever want to check your statistics, if you've blasted out an e-flyer or you've posted a virtual tour online and you want to see how many views it's got, you can go and look at your statistics. If you ever need help with anything, you can contact. So we have a live help person who does a live chat through office hours. If you ever need help with them, you can click right here and you'll start a chat with Amanda or myself. So that's always there. If you're in the middle of making a product and you run into trouble and you need help, you can just click right here and start a chat with Amanda. Okay, so that's just a really quick run through for those of you who are not familiar with Realtour. So we're going to get started and we're going to make our first product that we're going to order is photo shoots, okay? So I always tell our agents, and you would probably want to do the same, it's really, really important and it's so worth it to take the time and spend a little bit of money and order a professional photo shoot for your listing. You will get the most beautiful pictures. Most of our photographers offer a basic photo shoot package for about $100, $120, and you usually get about 30 photographs for that. And they're beautiful, they're clear, they're excellent quality. You can use them in all of your marketing materials. So it's really worth it to just spend the money and get a photo shoot, okay? So let's pretend that I'm an agent and I just got a listing and I'm really excited and the first thing I want to do is order my photo shoot. So this is what we're going to go through right now. I log into my account, I click here to get started on the photo shoot button. Okay, the first page I come to shows me all of my existing listings. Okay, now because I have an account that I've done a lot of testing and stuff for, I've created all kinds of listings that I use for training purposes. You might get here and not have any listings. This might be your very first order, okay? You need to create a listing. That's the first thing you have to do when you do any of our products. You've got to set up the listing in your account first. So we click on Create Listing. Okay, and we're always going to come to this same page. We call this the property details page, although it's empty right now because we're just starting from scratch. Now, there's a lot of fields right here. However, you only have to fill in the required ones, and these are these 4 that are outlined in green. That's all you have to do to get started and move on to the next step. As you'll see, you can always come back to this page and fill in all your information later. If you have time right now, go for it, fill it all in. But if you're on your way to a meeting but you really want to get that photo shoot booked, just fill in the 4 fields. So we need a street address. So let's just make one up. Let's just call it 123 Tuesday Street. And let's just say that we are in Austin, Texas, and that's my zip code. Okay, so right away I get a pop-up asking me about House Hunt. Do I want to put my listing on House Hunt? Right now I'm going to say no. We're going to cover House Hunt tomorrow in our next tutorial. So for today I'm just going to forget House Hunt and we'll take a look at that tomorrow. Okay, so I filled in my 4 fields. They're no longer green and now I have a continue button. I'm going to click continue and I can go to the next step. Okay, the next step is going to show me all of the available photographers who service the zip code of my listing. Now if I scroll down here, okay, I've got 5 different photographers that will service this zip code. For each photographer, I can click and view a portfolio for each of them. I can click and look at what their photography pricing is, so I'll just click on that. We get a nice little pop-up. These are all of David's packages, and these are all of his prices. So his most basic package is $125. You can scroll down and take a look. Most of the guys offer very similar packages and similar pricing. Some of them offer extra things like panos. David does aerials. I can see he does video. Okay. So if you want to, if you're booking a shoot, you might want to take some time and go through and look at what the packages are. Or maybe someone has recommended David to you or Mark and you're like, good, that's who I want to use. Each person has an availability calendar so you can see what days they're available. If David's not available on the day I want, I can look at Mark, I can look at Philip. But let's just stick with David for today's session. So let's say that I want to do my photo shoot on Friday. I can see that he's open. So all I have to do is click to select Friday. It brings me to the actual order page. So this is the same as the little photography pricing pop-up, only this time I'm actually going to tick which package I want. So I scroll down, they're all the same. I'm just going to pick a basic package. So I just tick, scroll down, hit continue. The next thing I need to do is give David a little bit of information on how he's going to access my property. So there's 3 options. If I have a lockbox and there's a CBS code, I can just type that in right there. Or David's going to meet me at the property and look, my phone number is automatically populated. It's populated because I filled it in on my account, so that's handy. Or maybe the owner will be home and then I can put the owner's name and phone number and tick that one. Okay, so let's just say that I'm going to be there. I can type in any extra instructions that David might need to know, like for example, maybe the owner of the house really wants you to take some pictures of the gardens and landscaping because they just had some work done on that. Or maybe there's a dog in the yard, anything you want to type in. Anything else you need to type in, it all goes on this page. When you're done, you click Add to Shopping Cart. It's going to create the order. It brings us to the shopping cart. Okay, that's it. That's all you have to do when you book a photo shoot, okay? So once you get used to it and once you get a favorite photographer, you can book a photo shoot in just a couple minutes. You just fill in the basic listing details, choose your photographer, choose the date, choose the package, and most of our agents will use the same photographer. They'll often choose the same photo package over and over again, and it's just super easy. Now, one thing I want to show you, we're in the shopping cart. So we've got a nice little rundown. We've chosen David. This is the package. Here's my listing address. This was the date I chose. Oh, but look, Platinum Virtual Tour for $0. Okay? This is a little extra. It's another incentive to get our agents to book photography. With every professional photo shoot you order, it doesn't matter if it's the cheapest one or the most expensive. Doesn't matter. Anytime our agents order a professional photo shoot, we automatically throw in a Platinum Virtual Tour for free. Okay, now normally the Platinum Tour is worth $30, so that's a really good deal. Okay, the other thing that is so great about ordering professional photography, once the photo shoot is done and David has edited all the pictures and they're good to go, David is going to log into his account and he has a back end where he will upload the photos and he will put them into your account and create the virtual tour for you. At which point you'll get an email from us saying, hey Jana, your photo shoot is done, your virtual tour is done, click here to watch your tour, or I could log into my account, go to virtual tours, and I'll see my finished tour that David has made for me. So this just eliminates the hassle of trying to get the photographs from David to the client. And a lot of our agents are not that tech savvy. They don't understand how to handle a zipped folder. They, you upload all your pictures to, OneDrive or, any kind of photo file transfer service, and they have a lot of trouble with that. So we've just taken that out of the whole situation, and now David will just dump your pictures into your account for you. He'll create your tour, and you're good to go. Okay? So there's just another incentive for booking a photo shoot. Okay, so I'm going to delete this out of my shopping cart so we don't accidentally book it. Let's go back to the dashboard page. Okay, so we've just gone through an order to photo shoot. Super easy. Next up, we're going to take a look at virtual tours. Okay, let's click here to get started. Okay, so again, you might recognize this page. It's the same thing that happened when I clicked on photo shoots. I come to a page that has all of my existing listings, and they're always organized into two columns. These ones already have virtual tours. These tours are finished, they're published, they're paid for, they're good to go. Now I can still go in and check statistics. I could go in and edit the tour further if I wanted. Doesn't matter if it's published, doesn't even matter if it's out there on Realtor.com or it's on my website, doesn't matter. If I ever need to edit it, I can just go in, edit the tour, change the price, upload a few new pictures, change anything I want. It's still fine. If someone then watches the tour anywhere, they'll get the newest, most recent version of the tour because they're watching the tour. It's being hosted by us on our servers. You can make a change at any time. People are always going to see the most recent version of your tour. You can also set it to inactive. If the property sells and you want to get that tour offline, just set it inactive. It will be stored here on a page of inactive listings until you manually delete it, okay? So these tours are already good to go. These listings have tours. Over here, these are my listings that do not have virtual tours. So here's the listing I just created for that photo shoot. All right, now it's waiting for images, okay? Now here's a listing that I started, but I just didn't finish it. Doesn't matter, our system will hold it. You might get halfway through a tour and then you've got a meeting, you're waiting for someone to send you a photograph, you're waiting for information, doesn't matter. It'll still be saved in our system. If I'm starting from scratch and I didn't do a photo shoot and I'm just doing the virtual tour, I can create a listing and go through the same process I just went through with the photo shoots, setting up my address, all that information, and then go from there, okay? Just to show, actually, you know what we're going to do today, just to save us a bit of time, because it's a bit of a long session, I'm going to choose one of my existing test listings that already has content in it, just so we can see. So this is my 123 Congress Avenue. I'm going to click on Edit Tour. This will take us into the back end of the tour. Here we are. Okay. First thing I want to point out is that in all of our products, you will see a navigation bar right here that stretches across the width of the page. All of our products have a navigation bar. This is so you can jump from page to page in whatever order you want. You can backtrack. You can skip sections and jump all the way to the shopping cart if you don't want to do certain things. It just makes your life easier so you don't have to go through every single page, back, forward, forward, forward. You can just skip, okay? So navigation bar is going to be on every product. This page might look a little bit familiar. This is the property details page. Remember when I created the listing for the photo shoot, I came in here and I just filled in the 4 fields that I had to that were outlined in green. This is what the same page looks like when you filled in all the information. Okay, it looks totally different actually. But anyway, I've got a picture uploaded. I've got my little property description paragraph. I've got all my fields filled in. Okay, these are all editable. As I mouse over, you'll see that they're editable. I could come in here and change. Maybe they've dropped the price. Okay, so I can come in and change. There's no save button. I just click away and now it's saved. Okay, super easy to use. All right, so this is our property details page. Next up, manage photos. So I'm going to click on manage photos. Okay, I already have all of my photos uploaded. All right, this was just to save us time. However, if you need to upload some photography, we've got an upload images button right here. I would just click on this. Now I would navigate to wherever in my computer, let's go to my desktop, wherever I have my images. I have a folder called images. I just double click. These are a whole bunch of images. Now I could just select all of these and upload them all at the same time. You don't have to upload them one at a time if I wanted to. Or if there's just one picture in here that I want to get, maybe this one right here, click go and I can watch it upload right here. As soon as it's done, it will show up as a little thumbnail right here in my little photo bucket. Okay? Now you have the option of uploading regular photos, which is what these are, just regular still photography, panoramas. I'm not sure if everyone's familiar with a panorama. I'm just going to let this upload here so we can see it. There we go. There's my new picture. Okay? Panoramas are those 360-degree view pictures. You can, yeah, I'll mouse over so you can sort of see them. Typically, you have to get a professional photographer to do these. They kind of set up a tripod and do a spin of 360 degrees of a whole room. Okay? So if you have those or your photographer's done them, they'll upload them under the Panos tab. If you have a video of your property, maybe your photographer did a video or you took one on your phone or something, you can upload a video. Some of our photographers do 3D photo shoots. They would upload that there for you. If you have a floor plan of your house and you want to upload that, you can upload, a JPEG or a PDF of the floor plan, put that in there. And then again, headshots and logos. And these are the same headshots and logos that you saw when I was in my account. We've just repeated them here. If you forgot to upload them under my account, you can upload them right here if you want. Doesn't matter. Okay? I should mention, you do not have to use professional photography in our products, okay? I always encourage people to do it, but you don't have to. If you have your own photographs that you've taken yourself and you're happy with those, that's no problem. Or if you have a photographer who is not a Realtour photographer, no problem. As long as you have the images somewhere on your computer that you can upload into our system, you can do that. Okay, you can also download images. So if you have a professional photographer and they've dumped the pictures in here for you, they're saved in your Realtour account, but you don't have them on your own computer. You're going to need to download them so you can save them. So you can click on download images. You've got 5 different sizes that you can download at. Okay, if you want the biggest size for marketing stuff, do that. If you want to download these, you can then upload them into your MLS. It'll just depend on what your MLS requirements are. Most take 640. Some do the 1024. It just depends on whichever MLS you're with. Okay, so you can upload and download. Okay, as I mouse over my images, I can see them nice and big. Okay, so that helps. The other thing we can do on this page is change the order of the pictures, because right now the order that these are in is the order our tour is going to play them in. This is going to be picture number 1. This is going to be picture number 2. If I want to change the order, I can just click on these and just move them. Maybe I want this to be down here for some reason, right? And just let go. And there it is. Okay, so now it's going to play over here. So you can just click on these. Maybe I want this one down here at the back, my backyard stuff. Okay, so you get the idea. If there's a picture in here that you don't like, there's a little delete button. You can delete anything out of here as well. Okay? The last thing you can do on this page is add or edit a caption. So if you want to add a caption to any of your pictures, you just click on this little link, add or edit caption. You get a nice little caption text box editor pop-up so we can see the picture a bit bigger. Now we can type in our information. So let's say we want to type in our location. Let's just call it, whoops, front of house. Okay, and I can see it appearing right here on my picture. Now in here I'm going to type the actual caption, beautiful home in downtown Austin. Now I'm not a real estate agent. Oh, I'm a terrible typist too. So obviously you're going to type, a much better caption than what I just did, but you get the idea. So you can put a little location tag here, and then you can put a nice little caption here. Obviously you don't want your captions to be more than just like say 1 line, maybe 2 lines. I think you can fit 2 lines because, your pictures are only going to display in your tour for a couple seconds, right? So you can't have a paragraph of text. No one's going to be able to read it. So just type in something catchy, something that's going to draw, the person's attention to something in the photograph. You can choose from these different fonts, okay? So as you choose a font, you can see it change right here, so you can see what it looks like. You can only have 1 font for the entire tour, though. You can't have a different font for every single caption. If I'm done with this, I can close, or I can go to the next image. Maybe I want to add a caption to the next image, So this looks like the dining room, okay? Amazing bay window. Okay, I can go to the next image. Now, I don't have to add a caption for every single picture, okay? It's not like a mandatory thing. You can have some with captions, some without. Maybe I don't want a caption for this one. I can just go next, and then I can do a caption for that one, next. Okay, at any time I can close, and I'm right back on the page I was before, the Manage Photos. If I want to go back in and make a change, I can just use the edit, right back in here, edit caption, there it is, I can change it. Okay, so adding a caption to your pictures, really, really easy. And it's totally optional. If you don't want captions, just leave this, right? As we go through this, you'll see a lot of the bells and whistles in our Platinum Virtual Tour are totally optional. If you don't want to take the time or the listing's really small and it's not worth it, don't worry about it. You don't have to. I'm just showing you guys all the goodies for today. So that's what you can do on the Manage Photos page. Next up is the map location. You don't have to do anything on this page. It's just a Google map and it's got a little marker showing me where my listing is. So all I need to do is double check that it's in the right place. Okay, if it's in the right place, I can move to the next step. If it's not, I can click on my little marker and just shift it. Maybe it's actually right here because Google doesn't always get it exactly right. Sometimes it's slightly off, or maybe your listing is in a new subdivision and Google Maps hasn't gone out there and done all the photography and got all the streets right. So you can move your little target anywhere you want. If it's good to go, you're done. That's all you have to do. Okay? Next up, floor plan creator. This is optional. Okay, you may remember back on my Manage Photos page, I had uploaded some floor plans. So here are my floor plans here because I uploaded them. If you have a floor plan and you want to illustrate it with some pictures, you can do that. So what we've done is we've created some locations for you, main floor, second floor, because those are the most common. Let's say this is my main floor plan. I need to drag it over and drop it onto main floor. Now it's going to show up here a little bit bigger so I can see it. These are all of my photos, same photos that I had on the Manage Photos tab. To illustrate my floor plan, I can just click on the photos and drag and drop them over. So this was a dining room, so we'll put that in the little dining nook there in the kitchen. Here's a living room, dump that over here in living room. Here's a bedroom, dump that in bedroom, okay? So you can just drag and drop your little pictures over and illustrate your floor plan. Notice that the little pictures became a camera icon as soon as I dragged and dropped them over. If I just click on that, it pops up and I get a nice big view, okay? Now, when we're done going through the back end, we'll take a quick look at the front end and you'll get a better idea of what this looks like when you're watching the tour. Just keep in mind, we're in the back end of the tour right now. So that's all you have to do for floor plans if you want to illustrate a floor plan. Next up is flyer selector. So if you've already gone into our system and made a piece of print material, or maybe you've done an e-flyer, a little thumbnail of that stuff is going to show up right here. So these are the flyers that I've already made for this listing. If I want to associate one of my flyers with my virtual tour, so when someone's watching the tour, they could click and download a PDF of my flyer, I can pick the one I want and drag and drop it over here. Now, a lot of people will come in and make their virtual tour before they make their flyer. So they'll come to this page and they won't have any finished flyers waiting for them. That's okay. They'll be able to leave this page and go into the e-flyer creator or print creator, make a flyer, then come back and it'll be here and they can drag and drop it over. Or they can leave this blank for now and then come back later. Maybe a couple days later, they've done their flyer and then they can then drag and drop it over and it'll associate with the virtual tour. Okay? I just happen to have mine ready to go, so there they are. So that's all I do is drag and drop my flyer over. If I'm happy with it, that's the one I want, great. Moving on. Next up, agent branding. So there's a little bit of branding you can do on your virtual tours, not a lot, but we come to this page, I've got my headshots and logos, they're already here, right? Because I've got them in my account and I uploaded them in my Manage Photos, whichever way I did it, okay? It will automatically populate with my first headshot and my first logo. If these aren't the headshots and logos I want to use, I can just drag and drop a different one over top. Maybe I prefer that headshot and let's say I prefer this logo, okay? My contact information is already here. However, I can click in any of these fields and make changes, okay? If I have a second agent that I'm doing this listing with, I can choose 2 agents, okay, and then I can drag and drop their headshot over. So now there's 2 of us, and I can also add their contact information down here as well. So we'll both be featured on the virtual tour. The other thing you can do is to select a player theme. So basically it's just a skin that goes on the outside of the player and has a different color scheme, right? So You might want to choose a color that you just prefer, like gray or red, or you might want to choose a color that matches your logo. Like here's a nice dark blue. That would look nice with our logo, so let's go with that. That's all you do is just tick the one that you want. Okay, so that's all you do for agent branding. Next up is SEO. So for those of you who are not familiar, SEO means search engine optimization. So basically when someone goes to a search engine like Google and they type in some keywords like, oh, I'm looking for a 4-bedroom house downtown Austin with a sunroom. Anything they might search for when they're in Google, they'd search for those keywords and then your results come up. So there's a much better chance that someone's going to find your tour if you include some keywords. So what we've done on this page, we've taken your property description. This was the paragraph that I typed in back here on my property details page, this paragraph here, okay? Jump back to SEO. So we've just gone ahead and auto-populated that right here, just in case you can't think of anything and you need some help. You can take keywords out of that, right here, and just dump them right down here. And you can have a whole list of them. Doesn't matter. You can have as many as you want, okay? Now, if someone goes to Google or anywhere else and searches for a 3-bedroom house downtown Dallas with a swimming pool, there's a good chance that my tour is going to show up in their search results and they're going to watch my tour. So it only takes a minute to do SEO. I really encourage people to do it. Music selector. This one's really easy. This is where you just choose some music to play in the background while someone's watching your tour, okay? Anyone who's ever watched a virtual tour, it adds so much more to the experience if you have a little bit of background music. I don't know why, but it just really does. It elevates the experience. You feel, it's just it's nicer to watch. So basically you can come in here. We have all these different samples. You can click on play sample and it will play. Now you guys I don't know if you guys can hear that. I've got a headset on, so you might not be able to, but you can come through and play all the different samples. If you find one you like, you just tick the one you like, and that's it. That's all you have to do. If you don't want music in your tour, just tick no music, okay? Totally fine. You don't have to. Okay, now we're at the view proof. Here we go. To view our proof, we just click on play tour, and we get a little pop-up window with our tour in it. Now I had a 3D tour in there that always shows at the very beginning. I should remove that. Okay, so this is your chance to take a look at what your virtual tour looks like from the front end. So we were in the back end doing all kinds of stuff. Now we can see what it looks like from the front end. So this is what our property details page looks like from the front. It's all the same information, but here it is, okay? My floor plans, this is what they look like when you're in the front. So there it is. If I click on my little camera icon, I get a little pop-up. So that's nicer. Okay, my map. There we go. There's my property on Google Maps. I can forward this tour to a friend. This wasn't something that we had to set up in the back end. It's just something that the tour does automatically for you. So you can put in their name, their email address, a little message, and they'll get a link that they can click on and watch your tour. Our print flyer right here, there's my little flyer. If someone's watching the tour and they click on flyer and like, oh, I like that. I want to print it. I want to get the, a PDF of it. They can do that if they want. We still have the option to download the tour. This is more, not a lot of people are using this anymore because what it means is you're downloading all of the files that were used to make the tour and then you're going to basically burn them onto a CD. We still offer this because some of our agents like to do that. They want to burn them onto CDs and hand them out at open houses. Most people will just send the link by email and then people can click on the link and watch it, but we've still got it for that. I have a 3D tour in here. That's just a photography thing. Last, contact. Okay, so on the contact page, again, you didn't have to really set up your contact page. We do it for you. Here's all of my information, and it toggles with my second agent because I put 2 agents on here. Okay, if someone watches the tour and they want to send some feedback, they can put in their name, their email address, their comments. They can fill in the little questionnaire here. Oh, I really like the property. And then they can submit. They can click on request a showing and choose a date. I'd really like to see it on Saturday afternoon. Click submit and I'll get an email from this person with this information and then I can reach out and contact them. Okay, so this was all the back end stuff that now we can see from the front end. To play the tour, this is the final picture of the tour that has it. I'm going to close that. That was me talking. I don't know if you guys can hear that. This one had some audio. So this is one of my panos that it's showing in the tour. So we're not going to watch it. It takes a while to go through the whole thing. But you get the idea. This is the view proof. It's worth it to go through, watch your whole tour from start to finish, check all your captions, make sure that they, you know, sound good. Or sorry, I've got audio in there. Make sure your captions are all correct, that there's no spelling mistakes or anything like that. Make sure your pictures are in the order that you want them to be in. Make sure the music sounds good, all that stuff. When you stop the tour, that's when all your little buttons come up that you can look at all the back end stuff. Okay, now this is just a pop-up window. So if I'm happy with this, or if I want to make a change, I can just close my pop-up window and I'm still in the back end of the tour. So I could jump back to property details, or I could jump back to manage photos. If I found a typo in one of my captions, I can go back and fix that, okay? Anything I want to change, I can jump back because I'm still in the back end of the tour. Okay, the last thing we need to do are the links. This is how we get the tour out there to the world, because right now, even though the virtual tour is done, it's good to go, it is only hosted by us. You can only watch it on Realtour and in your Realtour account. It is not on the MLS, it's not on your website. You need to come in here and do that yourself, okay? So we have all these different tabs. Our first tab just says links. These are the links to watch your tour. If I click on this, the tour is going to play, okay? So if you're going to put your tour on the MLS, this is where you're going to copy and paste your link from here. And you can have a branded link or an unbranded link. So it will either show your headshot and contact info or it won't. It depends on the MLS. They're all different. Some allow branded, some do not. This is where you get your link from. If you want to send your virtual tour to Realtour.com, you just type in your MLS number and hit send link. Okay, and then it usually should be within an hour or so that it appears. Sometimes it's 24 hours. It just depends on Realtor.com, but that's all you have to do. Put your MLS number and hit go. Next up, domain name. If for some reason you want your own unique domain name, you can just come in and type it in, whatever it was. I think I had congressave.com. Let's say I want that instead of what I had before. I can just check and see if that's available. If it is available, okay, it's available. I can add it to my shopping cart. It's an extra $19.99, okay? If I don't want it, let's delete that. If I don't want it and I'm happy with just this, because who cares? They're just going to click on it and play it. No one's really going to notice it. I don't have to do a domain name, optional. QR code. For every virtual tour that we make in our system, we automatically generate a QR code. If you want to download a JPEG of the QR code because you want to put it on some signage or something, you can just download a JPEG of it right here, save it on your computer, send it out to your sign guy, whatever you want to do with it. You're always going to have a QR code for every single tour. YouTube. If you want to put your virtual tour on YouTube, you just click here. If you're coming for the first time, we're going to have an authorize button. You just have to click that because you need to authorize Realtour to send your tours to YouTube for you. If you have your own YouTube channel like I do, it's going to host it on your YouTube channel. If you don't have a YouTube channel, that's fine. Realtour has a YouTube channel and we will host your videos for you. And then anybody going on YouTube looking at real estate, they will find your tour there, okay? So there's my little tour on YouTube. Maximum exposure. Right now we just have these 3 extra sites. If you want your tour to appear on them, you just tick them. That's all you have to do. And then usually in a couple of days or so, your tour will then appear on these listings. So I'm going to untick these because I don't want my listing to appear on there because it's not a real listing. Statistics. Okay, every Monday we send out a statistics report to you. If you want your client also to get a statistics report, you could put in their name and their email and click add. Okay, and then they will be added to your list, and then every Monday they will get a stats report for this listing. If you want them to see how many people have watched the tour or how many people opened up the e-flyer you sent out, whatever you want, if you want your client to get your stats report, this is where you do it. If you're done with them, you can delete. Okay, get them off your list if you don't want them to receive it anymore. So you're good to go. Okay. That is it for virtual tour. 3D, as I mentioned, this is a certain kind of photo shoot that a couple of our photographers do. I just have one in here. So you would order that if you were going to order it. You would order it directly from the photographer and they would upload it for you. Okay, so that's it. We've done our virtual tour. Next you would go to your shopping cart and pay for it, and then your links all will become live. Okay, and you're good to go. So going through the virtual tour is the longest process. It's kind of the longest marketing product that we have, more or less. We do have 4 different levels. So the one I showed you right now is the platinum. It's got the most bells and whistles, but as I said, you don't have to do them all if you don't want to. You don't have to add captions. You don't have to do floor plan. You don't have to do flyer selector. You don't have to do music or SEO. You can just upload your pictures and jump straight to shopping cart and be done with it if you want, okay? We have platinum, gold, silver, bronze. So bronze is our most basic. It's only $10. You basically upload your pictures, pick music, and you're good to go. So if you have a very small listing, you can just do a bronze tour. You don't have to do this big one with all the extra goodies. But just for today, I wanted to show you guys all the stuff that the agents can do. Okay, I'm going to go back to the dashboard. All right, so we've gone through ordering and booking a photo shoot, creating a virtual tour. Next up, e-flyers. So most of our clients, once they've done a virtual tour, they will then make an e-flyer and they will blast out the e-flyer to all the real estate agents just to advertise their listing, to announce it, okay? And the e-flyer links to the virtual tour, okay? So let's make an e-flyer. Again, click here to get started. Okay, yet again, we are on a page with all of my listings. And the listings are divided into 2 columns. These are listings that have an e-flyer that I blasted out, done. These are listings that exist in my system. Some of them have e-flyers that I've started and I could edit it. Some of them don't have e-flyers at all. I need to create new, okay? But they're right here, and same thing with the virtual tour. Even if you're halfway through the e-flyer, you can save it. Our system will just save it until you want to come back and edit it further, or you want to create a new e-flyer for the listing. It will save right here in the system. Okay, so again, to save us a little bit of time, let's use our existing listing, the same listing that we just did the tour for, but let's create a new flyer for it, okay? So I'm going to click on Create New. Okay, now it takes me into the back end. Just like with the virtual tour player, I have a navigation bar that stretches across the page with all the different steps that I need to go through. Okay, I can jump around in this a little bit, okay? Let's go back to the beginning, property details. This is the exact same property details page as we just saw for the tour because we are in the same listing, 123 Congress Avenue, okay? So I do not have to upload any of my information again. That's the beauty of the system. Once you've uploaded your images, once you've typed in all of your listing information, it's in the system. You can then make whatever product you want for that listing. You never have to do this stuff again. So it's a huge time save. If I had any existing e-flyers, they would be here on this page, and I do have some. These are also into 2 columns. These ones are flyers that I've already sent out, and I could do a resend, I could do some editing and then resend. I can download a PDF of the flyer if I want so I can print it. These are flyers that I've created for this listing, but I never finished them, right? Okay, but we're going to do a brand new one. Let's go into our template library. So this is our template library. We have all kinds of categories down the left-hand side. Okay, if I open up some of these, I have even more, okay? Got some classics in there. Got some lifestyle ones. Maybe I've got a property that's appropriate for a retired couple. It's a condo. Multi-listings, maybe I want to do an open house. I want to send out a flyer and I'm going to show, I want to showcase 4 different listings for my open house tour. You can do that as well. Okay, let me just close these. Let's say for today that we are going to do the America theme. And let's pick Texas and let's pick Austin. So these are our Austin themed templates, okay? So if I scroll down, these ones are all for Austin. If I want to take a look at it, because these are really small, right? I want to see it a bit bigger so I can see what it looks like. I've got a preview button and a select. So if I click on preview, I just get a pop-up of what the flyer will look like when it's full of all of my content. Okay, so there it is. Okay, it's got pictures, it's got all my stuff in it. Great, I really like this one. If that's the one I want to make, I just click on select. Okay, now it takes about, I don't know, it only takes about 2 or 3 seconds to initialize the flyer. Sometimes it's a bit slower because we're on a webinar, but now I'm in the edit template page, okay, the template editor. So here's my template right here, okay. Here are all of my pictures. Now you'll notice these are the same photos that I'd already uploaded in the virtual tour because we're in the same listing. I don't have to upload my pictures again, right? I've already done it once. I don't have to do it again. I do have an upload images button. So if I want to upload more, I can. It's no problem. I can also delete some out of here if I want to. I can upload a floor plan in here. And again, my headshots and logos are here as well, okay? All right, now take a look at the template. What's so great about it is that, look, a lot of these fields are already auto-populated with information from my listing. The listing address is already here. The listing price is here. My headshot, my logo, all of my contact information. There's my QR code from the tour I made. This paragraph is here. My title is there. Everything is already here. And that's because I filled it in on my account and I filled it in on property details. Okay? It really pays to do that because it will save you time. Now that I'm in the template editor, I don't have to do any of that because it's already auto-populated. It doesn't mean that I can't then make edits. You'll notice as I mouse over a text field, it changes. If I click on that text field, I get a little pop-up, the text box editor. So this is where I can add new, add new text, anything I want to do. Now it's a very simple editor. There's only a few things I can do, like I can highlight all my text and I could center it, I could bold it, I could change the font color if I wanted, I could change the size, maybe I want it to be one size bigger. So I only have a few things I can do in here. I can add a numbered list or a bulleted list as well, okay? If I like the way this looks, I'll hit OK. And what happens now? The system is rendering my changes. And there it is. There are my changes right there in front of my eyes. That's another great thing about this template editor. Any changes you make to the template will render and change and update right here on this page. We don't have to leave this page to see anything, okay, to see the finished product. So let's just say that I'm happy with that text. If there's a text field that I don't want, for example, maybe I don't want this last one with my website address, I can just click in there, delete the text, hit OK, and it will render it and it's just gone. And now I'll just see background. Okay? So you've got a few things you can do on these templates. What I need now are images. All I need to do is drag and drop my image into the template. So let's say this is my main image. I'm going to drag and drop it over. And let's say I want to use that picture and this picture and this picture. Okay? I hit refresh. The system is going to render my template. There we go, and I'm done. That's what my finished product's going to look like. Now you'll notice we've got little delete buttons on each picture. This is if you want to delete a picture. If you're not happy with it, you can delete it, or you can just pick your new one and drag and drop it right over top of the old one and hit refresh, and it will render it. So you have two options. It's just what's ever more intuitive for you. If there is an image field on here that you don't want at all, so for example, if you don't want the QR code, just delete. So that will remove the image of the QR code. Okay, we'll let it render. However, there's still an image field. So I could drag and drop another image into that image field, or if I want to delete it altogether, I can delete the image field as well. Okay? And that goes for all pictures. Some of our templates, like our brochures, are 4 pages, and there's a lot of image fields. You might have a final image where you're like, you know what, I just don't want that picture there. And you can just delete it, and then it's gone. Okay, so you can do that. So there we go. So there's our template. Now let's just say we think we're done, right? We're good to go. We like the way it looks. We're going to go either continue or use the navigation bar and go to the view proof page. You'll get to the same area. The view proof page. Now I cannot stress this enough whenever I'm doing a tutorial. Please take 5 minutes and view the proof of your e-flyer, because once you blast this e-flyer out, we cannot get it back, okay? It's just like when you send someone an email that has a mistake in it. You can't get the email back. They've already got it. All you can do is go in and resend a second email, and then you just look like a goof, right? So take a minute, really, and just scroll down, proofread everything, make sure it's the right price, make sure your contact information is right, because every single day we get phone calls from panicked real estate agents who've just blasted out an e-flyer to like 5,000 people, and they've got the wrong price, they've got the wrong address, it was for an open house and they didn't put the date or the time on it, just silly stuff like that, right? And then you just look unprofessional when you have to go in and redo it a second time. So take the time, view the proof. If you need to make further edits, you can use the navigation bar and jump back and edit further, or you can click here to edit further. You'll go right back to the template editor. Okay, make any changes you need to make. Go back to the view proof, make sure it's right. If you want a second opinion, client proof, click on this, enter your client's email address, add any instructions. Hi Bob, here's the flyer. I want to send it out tomorrow morning. Let me know if you're good to go with it or if you want any changes. send proof. Now Bob will get this exact image in his email. He can look at it, then he can email me back and say, Jana, please use a different picture. I don't like that one. Or he can say, I love it. It's good to go. Sign off on it. Okay? View the proof. Next up, links. Okay, so on the links page, the first thing you have to do is enter a subject line for your e-flyer. So it's just like when you send someone an email, you usually type in a subject line so they kind of have an idea of what the email is about so they know whether they need to open it or not. Same thing with your e-flyer. So really you want to type in some kind of enticing subject line that's going to get an agent to open up the email, right? So whatever you think that might be, you know, amazing property, Austin, great price, something like that, okay? Okay, do not put exclamation marks. It is a signal for spam, okay? If you put an exclamation mark in your subject line, most people's email providers will mark that as spam and they won't get it, or it'll go straight to their junk mail. So no matter how badly you want to, don't put exclamation marks in your subject line. Okay. Last on this page, links. So as I said, your e-flyer links to your virtual tour. Now we've already gone through and made a virtual tour, so our virtual tour is already here. It's auto-populated for us. View the virtual tour and there's the link, right, to the tour that we already made. So I don't have to do anything. If you have a virtual tour from a different company, no problem. You can just copy and paste that link in here, and then when someone watches your tour and clicks on it, it will play the tour that you made with the other company. That's no problem. You can do that if you want. If you don't want your flyer to link to a virtual tour, just select all of this information and just delete it. Just, get rid of it, okay? Okay. We now have the option of having 2 more links. These are optional. You can leave them empty or you can add 2 other things. So for example, you might want to have, something about Austin. Welcome to Austin. And then whatever that URL is, let's just put in austin.com. There you go. You might want to have a visit my website. Okay, whatever your website address is, put it in there. Okay? So, just like we viewed the proof, take a second and view another proof. Preview. You get a pop-up. This is what your e-flyer is going to look like when you blast it out. Here's your subject line. It's coming from me. Here's my flyer. Here are my 3 links. These links are live right now. So I can click on them, welcome to Austin, and just test to make sure they go to the website that I think they're going to go to. There we go, austin.com. Okay? So that worked. Okay, visit my website. I don't even know if that's a real website. It's something. Oh, it is a website. There we go. Anyway, you get the idea. Test your links to make sure they go to where you think they're going to go. If there's a mistake, this is just a pop-up. Close the pop-up and fix the problem in here, okay? Once we're done with this, we can continue or use the navigation bar and go to the distribution page. This is the last step. This is how we're going to decide how and who gets our e-flyer. So you have 2 options. Most people will use our map blaster, okay? Or you can send your e-flyer to specific email addresses. So if you have your own database of email addresses, your own list that you like to use, you can do that. You can do both as well, okay? It doesn't have to be one or the other. It can be both. So let's do the map blast. I'm just going to click on map blast. I get a nice pop-up window. It's a Google map, and the system automatically creates a starting target area for me. So here's my little target area. Right in the middle, that little marker, that is my listing address. So the system is assuming that I probably want to send my e-flyer out to agents in the surrounding area, okay? Now I look over here and I can see that in this area there are 3,070 agents. It's going to cost me $30 to send it to them. If I'm good with that, I can click continue and I'm done. If I want to tweak this target area, I can do that as well, okay? So it's got little handles on it. I can click on my little handles and change the shape. Okay, maybe I want this to be more specific. So I can make my little target area smaller. And because this is a Google map, I can just zoom in, just like you would when you're using Google. I can move it around, right, just by clicking on it and dragging it. Maybe I just want this to go sort of downtown Austin, right? More specific. And I can also click on the actual target area and move it around too. Okay. Now I've got 933 agents for $18. That's better. I'm happier with that. It's a little more targeted. Okay, so I can click continue and carry on. Or if I want, I can add a second target area. So let's click on that. Okay, the system just creates, it just zooms me out and makes a new one right next to that one in purple. I can click on this and move it anywhere I want. So let's just say, who knows, maybe for some reason I want to target this little town over here. I don't know why, but maybe I do. Okay, I can make my second little target area again. I can do the same thing as the first one. I can change the shape, the size. Oh, there's 0 agents over there. That was a bad sample. What about Hornsby? Still 0 agents, okay. Anyway, you guys get the idea. I can make a second target area anywhere I want. There we go. 52 agents in this area right here. Okay? Most people, when they're doing an e-flyer blast, are only going to have one target area. Occasionally, you'll have a listing that's suitable to have 2 target areas. Maybe, you know, I had someone wanting, people that were going to be relocating out of state. So basically, they were blasting the e-flyer. They themselves were from a different state, but they wanted to blast the e-flyer to Austin, but then they also wanted to blast it to agents in their home state. So agents would see, okay, you know, this listing is for Austin, but we've got a lot of people who are relocating to Austin for some kind of industry or something. It could happen. So most people are going to have one target area. Some will have 2. You can have as many target areas as you want. Okay, totally up to you. And you can delete them too. Let's say we don't want target area 2. Delete. Now it's gone. There's our target area. 933 agents. We're happy. Continue. Okay, now we're back on the distribution page. Here we go. Map Blast 933. Here's my price. If I also want to add some of my own email addresses, I can do that right here. I'm going to click on this one. I get a nice pop-up window. Now I can type in the email addresses right here, or I could copy and paste them. If I've got them in a Word doc or you know, something else, I can copy and paste them all in here. Okay, once I get a bunch in there, if I want to save this list, so for example, if I have a list of maybe I've got 10 or 20 clients that I always send my e-flyers to, even if they're not in the market, it's just a way of staying in touch, you know, that kind of thing. I can save a distribution list, right? I can call it like my best clients. Ugh. Typing actually, my best clients of 2016, and I can save that list. Now it shows up down here. Then if I every time I do an e-flyer, I don't have to then add their email addresses. I can just, oh, there's my best clients, tick, now they're added, okay? Maybe I have my client gold list right there. If I ever want to edit these lists, I just click on them and they pop up. There are the people I had. I can delete or add, save, undo edits, that kind of thing. So you've got a little bit of control in here for adding your databases and editing them. You can upload a CSV file. So if you have a database that you've created in Excel, you can save that Excel spreadsheet as a CSV file, upload it right here, and then create a distribution list. You can import your Gmail contacts. You can also import your Yahoo contacts. Okay, but let's say I'm good with my 12. Continue. Back on the same page. Now I've got Map Blast 933, my contacts 12 for 945. I'm good to go. There's the price. Continue, and it goes to my shopping cart. Okay, there it is in the shopping cart. I can look at a little summary of it. As soon as I pay for this, it's going to go out. It enters our queue and it will go out. It could go out immediately, or it might be, you know, 10 or 15 minutes if there's another e-flyer ahead of you, but as soon as you pay for this, it will go out, which just brings me back to the whole point of taking a minute to view the proof, because if there's a mistake and this goes out, we can't get it back. Let me just delete that so I don't accidentally send it out. Back to the dashboard page. Okay, we are almost finished. We've ordered a photo shoot. We've created a virtual tour. We've just done an e-flyer blast advertising our virtual tour. Last but not least is making print material. Now this is really fast because making a piece of print material is the exact same process as making an e-flyer. The only difference is that we have some different template types, so I'll show you that and then we'll be done. Okay, so let's say I've got an open house coming up and I want to have some flyers that I can hand out at my open house. Click here to get started. Again, I'm on the same page with my listings. These listings already have print material that I've made, paid for, done. I can create new for that listing. I can edit an existing and then, you know, re-download the PDF. Okay, here's the listing I made this morning for my photo shoot. I haven't done anything with that, but I could create print material for that. Or as with all of our products, you can start from scratch and just create listing. Okay, but just to save us some time, let's go back into our listing, this one that we've been working with all morning. Create new. Okay, This is the only difference between print material and e-flyer. E-flyers are always one-sided 8.5 by 11, okay? Print materials, you can also do single-sided 8.5 by 11. You can do double-sided 8.5 by 11. You can do a brochure, which is 11 by 17. You fold it in half and you have a little booklet. Or you can do postcards. And we have jumbo postcards and we have small postcards, okay? So let's just choose a double-sided so you can see the difference when we're in the editor. We go into the template library, same setup as the e-flyer. Here are all of our categories. They're basically all the same categories. You can scroll through and look at all the different types of templates. Okay, so if we went back into America, back into Texas, Austin, these are our Austin templates. Let's select this one just for fun. Okay, now the system is creating the template. It's going to auto-populate with all the content that it can, so it takes a few seconds. Again, we're in the template editor. It's the exact same thing as the e-flyer. My images are here. I can upload new ones. This just looks like the e-flyer, right? The only difference is that because I'm in a double-sided, I've got a front and a back. So if I jump to the back page, here I am on the back page. Okay, but I can drag and drop my images. I can mouse over and change all of my text if I want, add new text. These are bullets I need to add. Here's all my contact information. Back to the front, drag and drop all my images, so on and so forth. When you're done with your print flyer, you view your proof and that's the end of it, okay? You then download a PDF if you want to, okay? There's no, or you can send it to your own printer as well. You're not blasting this out because it's not an e-flyer, so that's all you do when you get to the end of it. Actually, I should probably show you that. I'll just quickly drag over some pictures. I won't bother with the text. Okay, drag over some pictures. Let's say we don't want these last two ones. Get rid of them. There's too many pictures. We don't like them. And you can see that once I've deleted it, I can restore the image field as well. So if I've changed my mind, I've made a mistake and I want to restore it, let's just get rid of it. I chose a template with too many images. Okay, well, let's just jump to the view proof, just to save us some time. I know people are getting tired. Okay, so here we are on the view proof. This is the end of the line for my print material. So I can edit it further. I can download a PDF. And the PDF, anything you make in our print material is free if you've purchased a virtual tour. It's also free if you've booked a photo shoot, and it's also free if you've sent out an e-flyer. And we've done all three of those things. So that's why I'm not going to the shopping cart, because I've already purchased something. Basically, if you purchase anything on our site, you'll get to use our print creator for free. So you can make any template you want, as many as you want for that listing. Okay, I can send these to my own printer if I want. They'll get a PDF that they can print. I can send my client a proof, the PDF of it. Okay, so that is the end of the print material creator. Back to dashboard. All right, we've been on the call for an hour. We've just gone through our 4 biggest marketing products: photo shoots, virtual tours, e-flyers, print materials, and we are done. So it is a lot of information to take in for sure, but as you saw, it's really, really easy to use. So anyone can come onto Realtour and set up an account. Anyone can go in and make any of these products just to practice. You just saw me make all of this and I didn't pay for anything, because as soon as I got to the shopping cart, I just stopped. I just deleted the product out of the shopping cart, didn't go any further. Just like with the photo shoot, I went through the whole process. When I got to the shopping cart, I just deleted the order so I didn't accidentally book anything. Any one of you can go into your accounts, you can make a virtual tour, you can just make a fake listing. All of the listings in my account are fake. All of the pictures I upload, I just get from our photographers. You guys can get pictures from anywhere. We can send them to you if you want to practice. You can go in, you can make flyers, print material, tours, learn how to use the products so that you'll be able to show your clients how to use them, okay? But it's really easy. So we're done. We're done for today. Tomorrow's session, we're going to go through the branding products, which is newsletters, listing presentations, email signature, and house hunt. Tomorrow's session will be shorter. It's only about 40 minutes. These are actually a little bit faster to go through, okay? So that's it for today. If anybody has any questions, let me know. Now's the time. Or you can always email me after, or email Amanda, who set up the session. And as I said, we've recorded the session, so I will upload this whole session to YouTube, and then we'll send you guys a link to watch it later if you want to. Okay, no questions? All right, well, we're good to go, and I will see you guys tomorrow for our next session. Bye, everybody.